homework. We gotta do all the features of visual snow. Oh, hi, my name's Sophia. I have this really weird story I gotta tell you. So basically, it was about like a month ago, somewhere around when I was somewhere around the end of middle school. My mother was checking on my room, yeah, blah blah. And basically, she saw me on my computer. I was just typing on the internet about visual snow. Then my mom walked over to me and said, "Hey, what are you looking at?" And then I was like, "Oh, just some visual snow. That's all. Nothing really much." And she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make some food for you. See you." And then I was like, "Bye." Like, my mom never acted this much before. I even was surprised when the sun looked so bright. It was shining in my eyes, and I was so surprised. I literally was starting to cry in tears. Then the next day, or should I say the next night, I got out of my dress. Then I got out of my pajamas, and then I was sleeping for like 3 minutes, and then I was like woke up, and I couldn't even sleep for any longer. It was because of the sun that night, that other day. I keep seeing the sun in rainbow colors. I saw 3 green circles in the air, 2 blue dots and 1 black dot, and 7 white dots and a shining light. It was so weird. I was so confused that I didn't even stay up the next hour. I couldn't even sleep because of it. Well, that time, my mom was so confused. She gave me the last of her cake to eat before I went to bed, even though I literally slept for 30 minutes. Then my dad came in. He said that he was gonna that he was gonna go to the store and he was going to get something. I didn't know what it was, but it had to do something with food. I ate the cake. It still felt weird. My dad ran to the gas station. My mom came with my mom was just going to find a bed set, but she couldn't, so she slept in the basement, like always, because it has been 3 days since we moved into the house at that time, and I couldn't even stand, and I couldn't even stand why that thunderstorm happened. Was it because of Canadians or something? I know we moved to Australia, but this is not like home, I thought. Then I wanted to take off my sleeping mask, but I couldn't. It was stuck to my hair. I got out of bed, looked on the computer one more time about visual snow, and then I was like, so not sleeping for another hour? Let's just look on visual snow one more time. And then I clicked on the link to see if I have visual snow. Then my computer turned off, and I was like, what? I do have visual snow, maybe. And then my hat fell off, revealing my new hair. And then it was like, ah! I carried it. I ran. I ran so fast. I put it on again and fell in my bed and went to sleep again. But then, 1 hour later, I actually got up again. Like, what is happening? At that time, my dad came back with my mom. They were holding hands together, and she woke up. It was already the morning. I couldn't even stand why. I got dressed that day. I got dressed because today was the last day of middle school. Yeah, today was the baseball day. I put on my cap, and then my parents came and said, "Oh, bye, I love you, see you after school." And then I was like, "Bye." I was so tired that my parents decided to make a surprise happen. Couldn't get anything from the gas station though, so they held hands together and decided to make some new clothes for me because that was the craziest clothing ever. She got me too much clothing, and then she put my old clothing on there. And then put the fashion one she made when she was just a teenager. Like today is my last day before I become a teenager. And then she put my pajamas. And then my, let's just say my dad's outfit. And we're all done. That's what they all did. She carried the clothes all the way. She put them next to, the cleaning machine thing. She closed the lockers and thought it was a great idea to just chill out for the next 30 minutes before I come home. Because it was almost the end of the day. We had an early release date, right? Well, 29 minutes later, I came home and I was like, my parents, this is the last day of being a preteen. They were just chilling. I opened and they came out. And they were like, "Oh, it's so excited to have you back." My mother was lighter than me and my dad. And I was so confused on why she acted like this. Well, turns out the next day was even. Well, you might have thought that would have been even better the next day. Well, you're wrong. It happened once more again. I slept for 2 hours this time, then again I woke up. Do I have visual snow? This time I saw flashing lights in the air and white lines. It went in a pattern and went faster and faster and faster. My eyes couldn't watch it. And then some Z's were telling me to sleep, and I couldn't do it. Unless my mom was there, by the way. I wanted to stay in the dark so badly that I got out of bed, just went to the bathroom, hid in the shower for 3 hours. You heard me, 3 hours. Then the next day came. I got out of the bath, and I felt weird. I was so soaked. Then I took it off and revealed my hair once again. Then I changed into my new clothes because, that day I officially became a teenager. Now I think, because I was officially a teenager that time. I got a shorter because of those sleeping and then waking up again moments. But today was my 13th birthday, and I got a new pigtail look. And watch, and a shirt, and new shoes, and a new skirt, and I was so bored because I didn't sleep for like 3 hours. Can you even believe that? But to my surprise, my mom actually came in, and my dad came in, and I hugged my mom, telling her that I love her and my dad. Well, they weren't as happy as I thought they were, and they were like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "What's wrong?" "We had a dream where you would stay up." And then I was like, "That happened to me!" And then I did a KO pose. And then I started to become really cold. And then really sweaty because it was set to the hot water. Then I went back to bed again. Why do I always keep going on beds? And you know what? I was still sweaty, even from the bed. Then there was only one way to do it. Touch the fridge. I touched some of the cold stuff, and it made me too cold. And then it made me a little warmer, and I was a lot better. Just the right angle. It was pointing, shaking, because of the earthquake the next day. Was it supposed to happen today? No. then I turned around. The sun was still up. I told my mom. Then we went to a professionalist. He's a very nice doctor. He helped me on that day. Let's just go to this. It's a pharmacy that sells food. His name is Dr. J. Not like the G word, but J A Y. Dr. J. When he came in, he was like, "Oh, hello." He wanted to check me today because of that visual snow thing that I was talking about today. But that day, I was so nervous. I was so nervous to go to a doctor that my dad was so embarrassed. He tried to stay out, but then he was like, "Oh, no, you're coming with me." And then it was like, I guess we're gonna see it. I guess this is the moment she dies. But I didn't die. I was living happily in my family. I kind of had a sore throat, and my eyes felt weird. I had visual snow, as he told me. He told me, well, there's nothing I can do with it. And my parents were like, "Aw, man, but your daughter has a rare condition." And they were like, "What rare condition?" "Visual snow." And they were like, "Oh my goodness, visual snow? What is that?" "It's a rare eye condition that happens to most teenagers. That happens to not a lot of teenagers and not a lot of preteens too either. But your daughter has one." And they were like, "Oh my goodness, really?" And then the doctor was like, "Oh yeah, she might need some rest." And then my mom was like, "Oh my goodness, we gotta get you some playtime." And then he was like, "Rest time, I meant." And they were like, "Oh, that's what you mean." And now we're traveling back in time. We're traveling to the future, which is where now happens. Yeah. Yeah, having a hard time as a teenager, having visual snow is hard. But yeah, that's all. Bye. Bye.